Life is full of ups and downs. I know it's a cliche, but it's also true. You think of Jesus' life. At his birth, the angels sang over Bethlehem. The wise men came to worship him. But then his family fled to Egypt to avoid the murderous plot of King Herod. 30 years later, God the Father boomed from heaven on the day of Jesus' baptism, declaring him to be his beloved Son. But then the Spirit led Jesus into the wilderness where he was alone and tempted by Satan for 40 days. Then there's the event that we'll hear about in worship this weekend, Jesus' transfiguration. For a brief time, his true glory as the Son of God came shining through, and the Father again spoke from heaven with words of approval. But then he left that place and began his journey to Jerusalem, where he would be arrested and put to death. Highs and lows. God uses this pattern to sustain his people. The disciples that were with Jesus at the high of his transfiguration would also be with him in the low of his passion. Satan would work hard on their hearts and minds to challenge everything they had come to believe about Jesus as they witnessed him appear so weak and helpless in his suffering and death. But the high of Jesus' transfiguration, what they saw on that mountain and what they heard on that mountain, would help to sustain them during the difficult scenes and blasphemous accusations that they would soon witness. God uses this pattern to sustain us as well. From the beginning, God revealed his desire that a day of rest should be included in each week. Because of his example and his command, we set aside a day each week for worship. This is the high we need to carry us through the lows. We never know what the week ahead will bring, what hardships or heartaches, what sickness or sorrow, what failures or sins. But we know these things will be there. But our time spent with Jesus, learning of his love, hearing of his promises, and being assured of his forgiveness is just what we need to carry us through. God alone knows what lows may be coming your way, and God alone provides the high that you need to sustain you. It's Jesus, our Savior. Join us for worship this weekend.